Okay, so this is the FYS faculty training. Just to give you an overview of what things will look like today, we have a 1-hour agenda. So that means it's 2:06. I plan to end at approximately, if not 3 o'clock, at least by 3:06, unless people have additional questions. Usually this training was around a half a day or a day and a half. And so my goal is, I realize how crazy everyone's schedules are right now. So this will be done in an hour. And if you have any follow-up questions, we will put it in that guide or that frequently asked questions portion on our guide. So the first thing we will go over is the FYS faculty guide. Then we will go over the Blackboard Sandbox, and it also functions as a course repository for the first year seminar. We have SALT, which is our new financial literacy module for the university. And so if you see the acronym SALT, that is financial literacy. So that is one big change that we will have for this upcoming year. Previously, we used another vendor, and I'm saying we as in the global Tarleton we. This is not my department, but they used another vendor. But this year, they're using a vendor that all of the other A&M system institutions are using as well. We will talk about assessment, and I will give you the contact for the assessment piece for FYS. I will answer any questions that you may have. I'll have answers for them, or I will find out the answers for them. We'll do tips and tricks, and then I will show you the transition week schedule. And last but not least, we should have some student planners headed this direction, but if not, I will have those delivered to you, and also any resources that would help you out in your journey through the first year seminar this upcoming, well, starting on Tuesday. Okay, so the first thing is the faculty guide. If I can move this to the top. Okay, so the first document is basically, and what I told the people earlier today is that this is an on-demand, basically people wanted a training. So we wanted to, I aim to please. And so we wanted to offer that training, even if it is the week before school starts, because so many people had questions. And I wanted to do what people needed at that time. So we did have a training in the spring semester, but this is the additional training. And we did not have a guide ever before. So I sat down while watching the Olympics this week and wrote this guide. So if you see anything that would enhance this guide, just jot it down and we will add that as well. And also I'm working on page numbers too, so that will help out as well. Okay, so the first piece is, please let me know if anyone is helping you teach during transition week. So what is happening, we had the College of Business representative today, and he is having 2 more faculty members help him during transition week because he has 5 sections that he's teaching in the upcoming, 5 or more sections that he's teaching in the upcoming semester. So that means that he will have all 100 plus students in one big room. And they're going to divide them among 3 rooms. And so I want to make sure that we have enough rooms for you if you are having anyone help you. Does anyone have any helpers or is teaching a big section for transition week? Okay.
No, I might be. It says that there's going to be 60 when Donna Savage said that, but I looked at my roll and it only says 27. So I don't know, but she put me in a big room.
Let me scroll down just to see.
Separated into 2 sections. I have one that's like that.
I know, but I only have one.
So the way that I am getting to the end of the page is that I placed a bookmark in the letter at the top. And so this leads me to the last page. And this is the transition week classroom assignments. Give me your last name again. You know what? It has, well, are you teaching a liberal and fine arts like college-wide FYS?
I think they have that just in case, but no one signed up for it. It's
okay.
Like the maybe class.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to phase that out, maybe.
Okay. And then you're teaching the music class, the one that, do both sections have students in them or?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Troy's also teaching, or Troy Robertson's also teaching music.
Will Fine Arts 103 fit 60 people?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That will for sure.
Okay. If you discover any problems, just let me know. You have my cell phone number. I gave all of you my cell. That's how important this is. Wow. I'm giving all of you guys my cell phone number because I want to make sure this is smooth for you guys. So if and when you check this document, just let me know if there are any questions or discrepancies so we can fix that.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm going back to the top of the document, and let's see, there we are. Okay, some more announcements for you guys. Remember to take your own attendance during transition week. In years past, we've had swipers, but in this transition week, we are wanting faculty members to take their attendance. And also, if you have any students who are failing to attend class, we've had several questions about, oh, well, I have to work, or I didn't know about transition week. If you came to orientation, you knew about transition week. And so if you have anything that's happening of that nature, just please send an email to me with that student's name, and then I will personally contact that student. If you have students who did not attend transition week because, we have planners for all of you guys too. Thank you so much. And so during transition week, after transition week, if you have any students who missed more than one session, and I will have a roll of who attended what session, and if you have any students who did not attend a session, then I will contact them to enroll in an online transition week, and that is basically the transition week experience online, and it is a scaffold-focused approach, so they will get new content every day.
Wait,
so that
could you say that again? I was texting Robin telling her to get my planner.
Sure. So we have the face-to-face transition week, which is next week, but after the first week of school, so after Labor Day, essentially, we will have the online transition week, and that is where I beg for help from the library and also from other folks on campus, and they've helped me tremendously in the past, but we teach the content online to students that is introduced in transition week. Mm-hmm.
So, say they weren't here during TV,
Mm-hmm.
then they show up for our FYS class. Do they still stay in our FYS class?
Here's the thing. I want them to stay in your FYS class. They have missed 2 days of content, like basically 4 hours of content from your course. So they need to understand that, and they need to catch up. But on the other piece, if they did not attend transition week, then they will enroll in the online transition week. And it's like basically an hour worth of stuff that they have to do, like writing assignments that they have to do every day. So an hour to 2 hours actually. And so that will be during that week, and then I will send all of you a report with all of your students' names and whether or not they've completed all of the sessions for the transition week.
I have a question. When you said about missing during transition week our content, how's that? I mean, it's our content that they're reviewing, or is it something that they're making up that's just general?
It's something that they're making up that is just general.
For that day, for the whole day events?
For the whole week long of
Oh, the
events.
week long events, okay.
But for the content in your class, like for that 4 hours, it's basically if they need to do assignments, if they need to do, I mean, they will obviously have to do some makeup, some readings.
But
so
we can pick
that's
them
the
up
other piece.
in the first week of school. Okay.
Yes, thank you. And also, there are some students who have received special permission from me not to attend transition week. Students who are involved in car accidents. I've received one phone call from a mom yesterday. They were involved in a motorcycle accident. And then I had another student who has military duty. So that's something that we can help, and also we are a military-friendly campus. Okay, so take your own attendance, and then if you have any students who are failing to attend, just let me know. Then also remember to incorporate content from your discipline. That has been a question that we've received for numerous years, because we had the DGS class, but now we have the FYS class. They're a little bit different. The purpose of this class is to introduce students to you, to your discipline, to your college. And so we basically tell the incoming students and their parents and other supporters that the FYS class is something that is unique at Tarleton, because it enables students to experience a faculty member from their academic discipline. If they're taking classes in the core, that means that they are, in the past, they have not seen someone from communication studies or from your department or from your department or from your department, but now they get to meet someone who is truly well-versed in the discipline that they are majoring in. And so incorporate content from your discipline. Education does this very well. It's like an introduction to the teaching profession. And and some students realize, oh my goodness, teaching is not for me. So it's a great way for them to figure out what they are not interested in. Let them dive into the content of your college or the content of your department. It's an introduction. So, and share your experience as a first year student as well, because all of us had things that happened in our first year. I know that was a ball for me, but I remember some pivotal things that, really did affect me as a first year student. So, incorporate some of those as well. And then for all of you, we will have monthly lunches, support lunches for anyone who needs them, but we'll have content focused on Starfish, our early retention software, as well as some more important things, the SALT, literacy, and module as well. Okay, so information about the Academic Success Lab. These are the mandated items from the state of Texas and also from Tarleton. So there are 3 items that Tarleton as well as the state of Texas requires each student to complete. The SALT module, which is the financial literacy piece, the Campus Clarity module, which is the health awareness education. It covers everything from suicide prevention to health awareness to Title IX, things of that nature. And so it's an overall health awareness education module, and that's from the Counseling Services Center. And also the completion of the transition week sessions. The thing is, in the past, people have done like screenshots, and you guys can still choose to have your students take screenshots of their completion certificate. But what we are doing this year is going to be truly outside of the norm. I am producing a spreadsheet of all of the students' names, as well as the items that they have completed during transition week. In addition to those 10 items, I will have basically 2 more rows, one for SALT, and then 2 more columns, yes. One for SALT, and then 1 for Campus Clarity. So that basically means that at any time you can contact me, hey, can I get an account of my students' completion of the required modules? And I can send you your entire roster and the completion status of all of your students.
So they're not going, I'm sorry, go ahead. They're not going to be turning in that financial literacy certificate to me, like as in the past?
They can do that for you, or I wanted to make it easier for all of you as well. So any method that you want to adopt.
Because I didn't know what you can do with those certificates once I have them.
So,
okay, you got that.
They're still on my desk.
Some folks choose to do the screenshot of the certificate, and then some folks ask the students to take a picture or to print them. But it just differs. But what I did with my first year seminar syllabus, I actually incorporated like points for the completion of each, and so I basically like assigned points for the students turning those items in.
Yeah. Now, do they have to complete these during the transition week, or do they have until the end of the course?
They complete basically transition week is an introduction to the financial literacy and to Campus Clarity. The students, for the most part, have already completed the Campus Clarity piece, part 1, but they have part 2 to complete. So that means they have part 2 of Campus Clarity and the whole SALT module to complete. And that's after transition week.
Okay, and the SALT is transition week.
The SALT introduction to how to navigate that module is during transition week, but the actual completion of the module will happen within that first 8 weeks, or if your course is 16.
So the first 2 will still be an ongoing
battle.
But I'm here to make your battle easier, so call in the reinforcements.
Because last year it was due September 22nd. It was financial literacy. Now, do we have a date?
We do not have a date because they just signed the contract on the module, and so they will come to your class. She is very excited about coming to your classes and talking about that for like 10 minutes or so. If the students have any questions,
do we need to set up an appointment for her to do that, or will she tell us that she'd like to come at this date?
Well, I put her contact information in this guide, and actually that has grown from last night. I put her contact information in here so that you guys can contact her, and also we're having a lunch to focus on that as well for all of you. And I'm so sorry, I saw another hand. So
you mentioned the Campus Clarity Part 2. In the past, there's been, it seems like it's been open, I think, like in October or November. It's going to be the same this fall. Something that they have to wait to actually take it, because I think we have 6 or 7 courses that are only 8 weeks.
Exactly.
And I think last time it was open on the 6th week or something like that. Or like, so like they only
It's
have, like, 2
problematic.
weeks to do it.
I will clarify that with the Student Counseling Center just to make sure. They've had a change in leadership. And I do want to tell you that's why I'm here, because Dr. Brenda Faulkner accepted the position of the counseling director, which is really, really exciting for her. But for us, it was a bit challenging. And so we are, presenting this in a different way. And so she is the contact for the financial literacy, for the health awareness education. And so I will write that down.
So Faulkner's in charge of that next 37?
Yes. 8-week, and then release of the module. And I would put her down, and I would also put down Ms. Karis Thetford. And so she's another contact as
So
well.
what's the first name?
CARISTETFORD.
Wait, THATFORD?
THET.
THET.
Mhm.
Thetford, okay.
On page 4.
As you guys can see, this is a comprehensive guide. I don't want there to be any questions that are unanswered. I know there will be, but.
Could I ask a question about
Sure.
This is my first year to teach this.
Sure.
So is that something that will be put on Blackboard, or how will that be, where will that reside?
Usually, number one, they'll get an email from financial aid letting them know that they do have to complete this module. They will get the introduction also, or the formal introduction during transition week. But I, like for SALT as well as the Campus Clarity, I actually requested a link, and I'll put that on this guide as well that you guys can just copy and paste, but a link to embed that link on my Blackboard. But that's a great question, and I'll write that down as well. Okay, and then also for transition week, that will be on Tuesday and Wednesday between 9 and 11. So make sure you keep your class in that time frame of that day, because the students are on a schedule and they complete it in groups. Okay, here are the items that are going to be introduced in transition week. All 10 of those bulleted items will be introduced. They are happening in a 30 to 45 minute time frame. And so that basically means they will receive an introduction. We currently have like 50-ish groups of 35, and so, or more in some instances. And so they will move through transition week in a cohort fashion. So that basically means that if we are all in one group, we will go to lunch in one group. We will go to dinner in one group, so on and so forth. And they will also, for the most part, attend class in that one group as well. Any questions? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the library section, I don't know what's incorporated in there, but I have often had students come into my class and do not have a clue how to access journals from their home computer.
So here's the neat thing. I think it's the page underneath this, underneath or behind this page, but I have contact information for people who can come to your class. So Ms. Walterdine, Ms. Mulhern, and also there's a new librarian who can come to your class and teach your students, or even have it in here to teach your students how to navigate the databases, how to access articles.
Okay, well, but what my question is that, I mean, I can teach them that. That I know, I mean, I try to teach them that all the time, but what my question is could you have that incorporated into the session that they have during transition week, or make sure that people know about that's an important thing to have covered?
Because the groups are, I said 35, they range between 35 and 60 for the most part.
Yeah.
And so with groups of 60, several of them will navigate the library at the same time.
Okay,
And so this is an introduction, but they will, I mean, it's basically where things are in the library, where the computers are.
Okay, so you did it, make sure they get that covered.
Yes. And I saw Ms. Wilterdine this morning, and she is more than happy to have her team come to your class, and they like doing that. Hey, when you get a chance, on this back table, the sign-in sheet is there. And then also there's a packet on the back table. All right, so we have a Blackboard Sandbox. This is what this looks like, and I will add you to the sandbox. Just shoot me an email saying that you want to be added to it. Basically, this verbiage says that there is a topic module and a resources and handouts. We want to make this process as easy for you as possible. And so on Blackboard, I'm going to log in. But when you log in, after you're added to this repository, you will see eventually, you will see. Okay, it says FYS Faculty Blackboard, and it has a lot of faculty members listed, and I see that you're listed, Ms. Jones Malone, and some more folks are listed, but after you click that, then you see the home page. It has announcements, introductions, course recommendations, and then it also has topic modules and resources and handouts. This is a really neat repository, and an entire team worked on this throughout the last couple of years. But there's a career exploration if you want to have career services. Talk about My Plan. That's an assessment that they can take to discover their career aptitude for different careers according to that list that's available.
Is that something that's already going to be done during transition week though? Take that quiz?
For My Plan, they will be introduced to My Plan, but it would be great to incorporate that in. Mm-hmm. Because it's a great opportunity for students to really explore. I wrote this major down because my mom or my dad or someone else told me that it's great to be a teacher, or it's great to be a journalist, or it's great to
You have no idea what I do.
Yes, I do. But I'm just thinking about like the career field. So I'm
Lions.
I just play with each other.
okay. So give me a career.
Wildlife biologist.
Okay. So to be a wildlife biologist, is that the career for me if I don't like wild animals? So on that aptitude test, if I discover that wild animals are not my thing or nature is not my thing, I probably would like to discover that my first semester rather than my fifth. So that My Plan is really, really important.
So that's in there when you click on career
Yes,
exploration?
let's click it. Let's click it.
Okay.
After you click the career exploration, this will be updated. They just had that approved last night around 11:45. Don't ask me how I know.
I was going through this yesterday and it still had a lot of stuff at 2013 and I was wondering if it was updated or not.
This is the, if you go to overview, it just provides you with an overview and then the calendar, but that will be updated. And then media and presentations, those are YouTube clips that are really good. Let's see. They have the Heed to Success or GRIT. They have Dress to Impress. That is a website simulation for dressing professionally. Then I really like these pieces, but the Engage piece focuses on activities and assignments. And so when you click that, it has like assignments that I can just basically copy and paste and integrate into like my lesson plan for that day. But My Plan in career counseling, writing prompt, My Plan in class presentation, and it talks about the brochure, a job search, resume worksheet, student organizations, job fair, and they're more than willing to come talk to your classes as well. Especially if you're there or if you have to go to a conference. This is a great way to still have class without canceling that class for that time period. And also to emphasize something that they'll need for the first year and beyond. Then if you look at the different modules, so say the critical thinking, that is one of the things that we have to do in this class. That's one of the key learning outcomes. And so if you click content and go down to engage as well, I really like these. Activities and assignments. And so it has everything from survival simulation to think for yourself to news. And this is really interesting, but have students watch 1 hour of Fox News and 1 hour of CNN. Then discuss which news channel they typically watch and point out the differences in news coverage. And you could even have events pertaining to your discipline. So if you think of Africa, and if you think about the huge, I mean, especially in Texas, I mean, in the past couple of years, like the huge, the hunts that are happening, and is that ethical or not ethical? So, I mean, different news stations are going to cover that differently. In the journalism field, think about the upcoming election. That's one thing that's hitting me. But it's like different news, I guess, sources are going to cover it differently. So that's a critical thinking piece for students who would not normally watch Fox or would not normally watch CNN to do that. So it's definitely thinking outside of the box and thinking critically. Yes. But an opportunity to do so, period. So, and then these are things that you can just basically, I would copy and paste this and just integrate this into one of my lesson plans one day pertaining to my discipline. With ag, if you think about the, so whether you're focused on the Monsanto controversy that happens every year. And so, I mean, it's just very, very interesting. So, and then applied to real life, purchasing a Mac or PC. Actually, the A&M system is holding a referendum on allowing concealed handguns on campus. That was like from 2 years ago, but you know, it's still, it's very interesting. And so I imagine a lot of student speeches will focus on that as well, and papers.
It's funny though, the bomb says, not that there'll ever be a referendum for that.
I know, right? So that's the critical thinking module, but there are modules like throughout this entire piece. Note-taking, online hybrid learning. Now, the other piece is the resources and handouts. And so these are really neat as well. It has the all-in-one guide sheet, and those are resources for all of you. Then it has the study skills enhancement series that has been updated to reflect all of the study skills that are happening this semester. There we are. This semester, they're happening 3 times a week. And so each week has a different emphasis. So the first week is attitude and motivation, so on and so forth. Then the next one is LASSI. If you see the acronym LASSI, that's focused on learning styles. And so that's an assessment that you can integrate as well. I will say, this is my disclaimer. There are many assessments that you can incorporate in your class. However, you don't want to over-assess your students and give them assessment fatigue. So pick a few key ones that are outside of that normal, mandatory piece, and, just think about how you can utilize that for this upcoming year. With the My Plan info, I will put the code on the guide so everyone can see that as well. And then it says the student safety and Title IX syllabus statement. I will show you what that looks like on the guide. Any questions about the Blackboard piece?
You're supposed to be able to click on these?
Which?
Well, like the top 3, all it can do is let me move it. Oh, never mind. I see your other links are down below that. Never mind.
That's
I
okay.
was clicking on looking at the all-in-one. Usually that's a hot link, but it doesn't. But your other things right there, yes. Okay, sorry.
But if you have any questions, just let me know, because it's never going to be the end. It's always going to be a work in progress. And Ms. Guy worked tirelessly on that a couple of years ago. Okay, so inviting speakers to your course, library skills. We talked about plagiarism this morning. We talked about how to find things in the databases, how to cite. And so Ms. Wolsternine and her team are amazing at coming to your class and presenting that material. And so she is your contact. Diversity training. We have a diversity educator, Mr. Turbicio Lentz. It says, please request early, because he has to do a lot of diversity education in classrooms on campus. And so they request him. He's very high in demand. Then we have the online readiness course. So at Tarleton, can students who are, incoming students or first year, second year students cannot take online classes without taking this online readiness course offered from the Center for Instructional Innovation. So if you want them to come talk about that course and the opportunity for students to do so, that might be an opportunity as well.
When is that course offered? Because it's an 8-week course, isn't it?
I think it's less than 8 weeks,
Okay.
but I'll have to,
Like
I'll
in
have to.
October? I think it's just thinking of previous information.
But I'll double check.
Okay.
That's one of the questions I don't know the answers to, but I'll double check. And it will appear on the guide. And then Blackboard overview, that might be a good thing as well. Care team, that's basically the referral team. If you have a student in your class who is experiencing difficulty with some aspect of life, or if he or she or they are thinking about harming themselves or others, then just refer them to the care team and then the Student Counseling Center director. Strengths Quest, Mr. Darrell Brown, they've already had Strengths Quest. So that is one of the things that they have already had. It's not mandatory, but it's a good to have. Campus Clarity and Bystander Intervention, that is Ms. Kara Thetford, as well, and Ms. Kara Thetford and Dr. Faulkner are in the same area. Career Services, I'll get the contact and type that on here. And also, some people had a question about like growth mindset. That's something that they will be introduced to during transition week. And so growth mindset is this huge movement on campus and campuses across the nation, but they want students to realize that just because you don't do well in X course doesn't mean that you will do poorly in this major or that this career field is not for you. But to know that maybe this major isn't for you, but maybe there are some other majors that are for you. And to know that college is if you don't know everything you need to know for college, that's not the end all be all, that you can grow, you can gain new information. And so Ms. Shelley Conboy Brown is having a session on that during transition week.
Who's the contact of Career Services?
I will include that on there. They have some new people, so I want to make sure that the person I had down has not changed. Then this is a hyperlink. It links to the Tarleton General Education Guide. And so it has all of the core learning objectives for.
Where did that come from? Sorry.
No problem. It's just this hyperlink. Just click it and click this link.
And where did that come from?
Oh, that's okay. It's on the General Education Guide, and this is on the faculty guidebook. So everything is on that faculty guidebook.
It's on the homepage.
No, it's not in,
Under resources.
it's not in Blackboard.
Oh, it's not in Blackboard yet.
That's
That's where I was.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, okay.
But it's in the
guide.
guide.
Okay, it's in the online guide.
But the one that you have is probably going to be outdated after this session. So I am adding to it every day that you have paper copy. So these are the core learning outcomes that are the core objectives that you will need to incorporate on your syllabus. So what I do, like after my contact information and a description of the course, I usually list those core learning objectives. Those.
Let's see if I can. Make sure they're on syllabus.
So that students will get a realistic academic preview of what they will be exposed to. So critical thinking, to evaluate evidence and analysis, interpretation, or arguments. The second aspect of critical thinking focused on rational conclusions after evaluating that evidence. So it's like a before and after. Communication, written, visual, or oral forms to a range of diverse audiences in multiple settings. So you can actually focus on, if you have an assignment for the students to write a paper at the end. I know that we had someone from ag, and then you're shaking your heads, and some folks also submitted assignments to me as well. But if you have an assignment that incorporates all of these, that's great. And then Mr. Latouche will be in contact with you. Dr. Latouche will be in contact with you a little bit later to explain how these are going to apply on a rubric for your class. But don't fret about this now. Just know that if you have an assignment that can, especially if it's an assignment that requires them to go to the library, and I'm just throwing this out there, that requires them to write something and to analyze the information that they received from the library. If it requires them to write, that's the communication piece, the empirical as well as the quantitative skills, they, if they are, and I think that one was, the financial literacy module activity. So if you require them to reflect on that as well. The social responsibility, maybe the implications of that. So say if they're writing about a controversial issue, so like the hunting piece, what are the implications of widespread hunting? I mean, is that helping the survival of a species, or is it reducing? So that social responsibility piece and what can be done. So I'm just throwing these out there. And in my class, I actually had them, and I submitted this assignment to a national piece, but and I taught one of the COLFA college-wide FYSs, and so they had to work in groups to solve a problem at Tarleton. So they have experienced many things, especially that third and fourth week of school, including getting locked out of the residence hall, including a variety of different things. Even I think about you, Dr. Bellows, when I think about like the sustainability pieces. We have a lot of folks wanting green roofs. I mean, a lot of students writing about green roofs on campus. So that's solving a problem. Or you talked about the concrete.
Porous pavement.
Yes, the porous pavement pieces. So those are things that would be more potentially more socially responsible, that would affect generations now and beyond. So there some are classes of college students now and beyond. So there's some innovative ways that you can incorporate these core learning outcomes. What questions do you have about the core learning outcomes? And if I can answer it, I'll defer to Dr. Latouche.
One thing that might help in putting together a syllabus for all of us is if there could be a shared or mocked up syllabus of what it should look, what it would look like, and maybe have it like red would be meant, this should be in your syllabus. Black would be what's up to you, how you want to incorporate it, your words, your assignments that you want to incorporate, but maybe a mock-up syllabus so that we could all kind of be making sure we're including what we need to include, and then know what we have the flexibility to add or, do something different with.
And
as a newbie, I second that.
And what did you say? I'm so sorry.
She said she seconds that.
Oh, okay. So, and you second that too?
I said
Yes.
Okay, so I'm stemming from that. Is someone willing, or are a few people willing to have a syllabus repository? So like I could look on Dr. Bellows' syllabus and like, oh my goodness, I didn't think about that. And she did, or she incorporated, like I always put a picture of the textbook on my syllabus, like a picture of it. So they can know when you go into the bookstore, that's the one you need to get. But
yeah, I mean, I don't have one, if that's what you're asking. That's why I'm asking this question. This is my first time to teach it. But for others who have taught this course maybe in the past and have kind of been able to tweak, I think that would help me anyway.
Awesome.
Lillian, I'll send you mine.
Okay, I'll take it.
Would you be willing to share for the syllabus
Our
repository?
syllabus is really specific to teacher ed. So it's, I don't know.
Imagine that's okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. So I'll do a call for syllabi, and anyone who's willing, or even if you're working on the syllabus in progress, then you can put that on there as well.
Because we need
I think
them by
that's a great
Monday,
idea.
Tuesday, right? I mean, my first, because we break them up, and the first rotation is our homeroom, and that's where we go over the syllabus next week.
Awesome. And I know education does that very, very well.
Yeah, and then we rotate to where we teach that one thing 5 times.
It's very organized.
Yeah.
So I will, number one, issue a call for syllabi, and then number two, there's a syllabus that I have actually fashioned mine after, but I will ask that person for permission to post their syllabus. Important dates and times. Speaking of transition week, important dates and times for FYS faculty. Monday, August 23rd. This is only a glimpse into transition week, but I will show you the whole schedule in a few moments. But at 10:45 to 11:30, we will have an academic success rally. Some deans are wanting their faculty to be in the location where the students will meet you, so just clarify that with your dean, and some deans are wanting the faculty at the gym, so just clarify that with him or her. But Dr. Murray will give each student an assignment in that rally. So I introduced Dr. Murray. Dr. Murray talks about the importance of going to class, the importance of, really picking a good major or a good fit for them. Yes. And then, to really focus on that academic experience. And her assignment is due via email at the end of the week. So on Friday at noon, they have to email like 3 goals to Dr. Murray by the end of the week. Then at 11:30 a.m., they will have Meet the Colleges. And so I'm requesting, I've heard from 4 of these 6 deans now, but I have, and all of you know we have 6 colleges now, right? Health, Sciences, and Human Services. See, I've been working on that. And we will have box lunches for the faculty members who will meet the students during that time frame.
And do we know where that's at? I mean,
In the small gym?
The academic success rally will be in the big gym, but the deans have different locations. And so
Ours is the small.
Small gym?
Yeah, ours is- I just don't know where ours is. I haven't been told.
Then on Tuesday, the 23rd, class from 9 to 11. Just remember to keep them the whole time, and just add in some extra assignments. If you have extra time, just buffer it. Then if you need to know where your location is, this is a hyperlink. And when you take attendance, let me know if there are any students who are not attending class. Wednesday, same thing all over again. And then Sunday, the 25th, we have, actually, that is not Sunday, it's the 25th.
I've noticed that, yeah. 28.
Thank you. So guide edition number 16. But Sunday, August the 28th at 7:30, we will have first year convocation. That is basically a preview of what their graduation ceremony will look like in the year 2020. So the faculty come in regalia, all the students sit down, they're wearing matching t-shirts, and they hear various presentations from the president, or I guess addresses from the president, as well as Dr. Murray and the vice president for student life. And so they take a pledge. They really get prepared for that next day, which is Monday, the first official day of school. And then at 9 p.m. they have a candle lighting, so they light a candle and they form a 2020 formation forfeiture. Online transition week, if students miss one or more sessions, they will hear from me. And I will also send this link to all of you. And that is like after the first week of school. And that is where the students who miss one or more sessions will sign up for transition week, online transition week. Any questions about these dates, these times?
Are you going to be sending us locations of those box lunches? Or are we supposed to just wait till Monday and say, go there?
No. Well, and I'm a little bit hesitant because the deans are requesting like a certain number, but I will send you what the students have been given. So you'll get the information, but just confirm with your dean.
What was the question?
She was asking where the locations are that the box lunches and the colleges and meet the faculty will be held. And so each dean is meeting in a different location. And so box lunches will be there for all of the faculty members who will be there as well. But I just asked everyone to confirm with the dean of your college just to make sure.
Last year it was at Heritage Park for our college.
And this year we might have rain.
Is that Robin talking?
Yeah, that's me talking, yes.
Because we got an email that we were supposed to confirm whether we were coming.
Yeah, but they didn't tell us where.
Oh, okay.
You'll get a little snippet
We
saying
just go.
where.
I just said, yes, I want lunch.
So this is a frequently asked questions. What is transitioning to university studies, which is also known as FYS? It's 1 hour. What is the purpose of the course? When will the course be held? And then how long is the course? Some courses are 8 weeks, some courses are 16. If you're meeting 16 weeks, it's 1 time a week. If you're meeting 8 weeks, then it is 2 times a week. Is there a book for the course? No.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
we have some books available for FYS courses, but I am not using it, but I'm just saying, I just get mail saying that, email saying that we have those books, do you want to? Just information.
And there are, like, historically, DGS has adopted like a common text or that older first year seminar, but this time is very like discipline specific. So we want it to be an introduction to the discipline, and then like those textbooks, and oh my goodness, they really do send those when they send those, right? So your inbox will become very filled with those, but you do not have to use those textbooks. We even used a trade publication that was like $14, and we adopted that critical thinking text for the semester, but we incorporated those learning outcomes.
This is one thing that confused me because I was looking at the transition to university studies first year seminar course content recommendations from the content committee. And it says here, the course content committee recommends that Tarleton does not prescribe a text for the transition to university studies course.
Yes.
Taking advantage of current technology and free resources minimizes cost for students while maximizing content customization.
Correct.
So I don't use textbooks in my journalism classes. We do everything from the real world. And so I took that to mean they don't want us to use a textbook in this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was on that committee.
Just use discussion board and pull articles that fit your field or something, and have the students do discussions outside of class too.
I also wanted to bring up, while we're on this subject, that the New York Times had a really great piece back in 2015, last year, 2015, called How to Live Wisely by Richard J. Light of Harvard. And they do something there kind of similar. They don't call it first year seminar, but they had some really good exercises on here.
Oh, wow.
And if you just Google New York Times, Richard J. Light, he's a professor at Harvard Graduate School of Education. It's called How to Live Wisely. And it's got, questions students have been asking, how can college contribute to their dream and things like that.
Can you please send that to me?
Yeah, Harvard has a course called Reflecting on Your Life, and I just found this to be really, really helpful. So I'll send you a link to that.
Thank you.
What's the last name, Richard?
Light, L-I-G-H-T.
And I'll also
July 31st, 2015. How to Live Wisely.
And I'll also put that on the guide.
It's really excellent.
That sounds amazing, actually. So the answer is no, there's not required text for the course. But even if you find an ebook, that is free. I mean, it's fair game. And so there's some good ones out there as well. And also, let me not discount, the library has a wealth of ebooks. So for my class that I teach, I actually put a link to the ebook in the library, and all the students have to do is log on to their library credentials, and they don't ever have to purchase a textbook. Yes, I did go on record for saying that. So,
What book is that?
like I teach a social media course, or these social media courses on campus, and I actually if you go into the library databases, there's like a ProQuest, and then there's another database, but they have like so many ebooks that are like new, and so. But I just hyperlink it on the syllabus, and the students just click that to read the book. Do we have access to a calendar for the monthly lunches? Not yet. We will get there, I promise. And then someone else asked, for the 10 items that they must complete during transition week, do they have to remind them or recover the items? And the answer is, it would be great if you could do that after taking attendance. Just ask them to process transition week, the information that they are getting so far, but you don't have to, but it would be a good to.
Okay, this is something different, but I was clicking on the link, student safety and Title IX syllabus statement, and it said won't let me do it from here, but it could be because this is a student.
What I did to make it a little bit easier, I put all of those on the guide, just to make it a little bit easier. It grows almost every hour now. Who do I contact about SALT? Who do I contact about campus clarity? Those are on there. And then additional questions and answers. Here's a link to a document that someone compiled for their class, but they have information about campus clarity, information about financial literacy, information about my plan, so on and so forth. So that link is here. So just click that and that will take you to that document. Then potential statements to add to your syllabus. The first two are required and the next are good to have. The disability services statement, this is the updated one for this year, even though it hasn't hit the email yet. This is the one that we are using. Observation of religious holiday, that is required by the last legislative session. And so that is on here as well. You can just copy and paste. Commitment to diversity, that's good to have. The student safety and Title IX, that's good to have. This one is a long one, but you can take bits and pieces, but this is not a official statement, but basically if you feel unsafe or if you cannot take care of yourself to the full potential, you can contact these numbers.
So is this new about religious holiday required in your syllabus this year? So I mean, I've never had it in my syllabus. Ooh, I never got that either. Oh, oops. Or I got overlooked.
Statements from academic affairs focused on integrity, civility, excellence, and service. Basically, these are the official statements from academic affairs about those pieces. And so this is a good handout if you want to use it, but it's a good to have. And then these are the classroom assignments, and those are at the bottom of the document. Do you see anything or do you not see anything that would be helpful for you? Have you learned about anything new regarding FYS in the past few moments that you did not know before?
I got a question.
Sure.
Specifically about FYS, but on the syllabus statements, those are new for this year. Correct.
For now, which?
This is, well, so you said there may be a little, disability services may be a little different, and then the whole religious holiday. My point is, I think we just got an email from Academic Affairs about our syllabus day. I don't recall it being on there. Was it on there? Maybe I just don't
No,
remember.
the one I received recently was about,
Disability services.
it was.
Oh, you know what,
The
that
one
was,
on the other side.
that's
Yeah, it was
right.
the other
That,
one.
so syllabus statements are, that's right, it's that one.
Got it.
It's that one. So we have not received our
No, I haven't seen that
syllabus
yet.
statement.
I saw the
Okay.
academic integrity and civility and all that
I
stuff.
retract my question, sorry.
That's okay. There are like so many statements out there that, yeah, I
Your
completely
syllabus
understand.
has become a contract.
Really?
It's not
Darn.
serious.
I mean, but seriously, it is a contract. They have to agree that they're
Yeah.
going to.
Well, I don't know about, well, I started this a long time ago
Mhm.
when I was in Corpus, but we've got it in our department, department, it's 2 pages that are identical, and it's a condensation of the syllabus, bullets, and then the student has to sign and date it and turn it back in.
I love that.
So the one they sign and date and keeps with the syllabus,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one they sign and date and I collect it. So that way, if in case they say, I didn't know you couldn't use a cell phone, go, you signed it.
You signed this right here and you dated it.
I-
Did you do the same thing? That's awesome.
No, I like mine. I didn't know I couldn't self-plagiarize.
And that's why I did it.
Just to see if you were paying attention, right? So about SALT, here is I'm making a resource folder on Google, and I'm putting all of these, I'm dumping all of these sources in there, purposefully dumping all these sources in there.
And where's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. This one is, and I haven't shared it with the guide yet, like with
But you
the,
will.
but I will.
The guy.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure that,
So whenever I go to the home, it'd be on the home page. I just want to know where to find these, because,
now this is the one that I sent
This
to
is the
everyone
guide,
in the email.
Not
oh, it's not gonna be in Blackboard.
not Blackboard.
I guess I can put it in Blackboard, yeah.
And to me, that'd be a good spot if everybody's on Blackboard.
Sounds like an idea.
I would just say
Mhm.
in big, bold, red, fuchsia, whatever, look here.
This is the guide.
This is the guy.
The guy.
Now,
Praying hands.
oh, the emoji. But SALT will be there as well. That's just some information about what SALT will look like. It's very student friendly, and a lot of A&M
That's good
system.
to know what they're seeing, because I have no idea what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that S is a money sign, okay. That makes sense now.
And so it says that SALT courses will cover education planning, off student loans, internships, I really can't read that, and careers, internships, something in careers, employment, money management, budgeting, student loan repayment, credit and debt management, saving and investing, risk management, and taxes. I can't say that we all don't need that. I know I would love them.
Hey, maybe we should all take that.
Yeah. And you know what? We could possibly get codes for that too,
Yeah,
to see what the students are seeing. Know what you owe, loan repayment navigator. They have our SALT help that people can request. And then they have a social media piece as well. And then they basically say it takes 30 seconds to sign up for a free account, sign up for SALT, and it has their information here.
If they sign up for it, what do they get?
They get to complete the module.
Oh, okay, oh, I
To
see.
get knowledge.
Yes.
You get a little certificate, or you can have them screenshot that, is what you're thinking?
I think so.
Just little papers possible.
And then assessment, we talked about that, but we will have Dr. Latouche talk about that in depth. And also questions and answers, tips and tricks, we'll talk about that in a couple of moments. Transition week schedule. Before this comes up, I will tell you that this is massive. That is my disclaimer. And so
It's so pretty.
it is so pretty.
But one question was, does the color code mean anything?
Yes, Abby, Dr. Murray's
There wasn't a
admin,
key anywhere.
produced a key at the bottom of the
It
page.
wasn't on yesterday's then. Or I didn't see it.
And so this is a list of everything that the students will do during transition week. So this is tomorrow. Some folks are moving in to Heritage and Legends. Then that is Saturday, that is Sunday, then Monday. This is what our lives will look like on Monday. On Monday, we will have breakfast. It's starting, I think you can get there at like 8, well, between 7:45 and 8:30. Then Dr. Murray has our faculty assembly in the ballrooms from 8:30 to 11:30. Then while the students are having a classroom campus tour to know what their classrooms are the next day, we will have an academic rally, and that's where Dr. Murray will give the students their assignment. Then we will have the Meet the Colleges, that is the box lunch piece. I'm not sure what this is, so hopefully we get some more information on the active learning classroom, but I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, I know, that's my.
There's a,
We have, the colleges spend over $80,000 for room 203 in the Howell building.
Oh, wow.
And it's 5 collaboration tables with 6 students to a table.
Wow.
And one of the things to make sure, no food, no drink.
Okay.
So that's for sure. But yeah, it's where that you have a key. We had the training yesterday. It was
cool. Are you impressed?
Well, part of me is excited. The other part, it kind of takes away from cooperative learning and being able to have students move around and move, get up and move around because it's not flexible seating.
Got it. Well, we can check that out from 1 to 3, and then the president has, and thank you for the recap, the president has his reception from 3 to 4, or his, reception, and then general assembly and auditorium, in the auditorium from 4 to 5. So I will not lie to you, Monday will be busy.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
May as well get used to it then.
Yeah. Tuesday we have, let's see if I can scroll over.
Waffle breakfast. Yes.
So the executive cabinet is serving waffles that morning to students in the dining hall. We have FYS from 9 to 11. Then they have lunch and some more things that are happening between 11 and 2. And then some folks are having, 50 students are having math boot camp all week to help them bring their scores up so they can test out of developmental education math. And then the academic success labs are going to happen from 2 to 5 on both Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday and Friday, we can get ready for next week because we don't have a lot going on during that time frame, but I will point your attention to a couple of things. Let me see, College of Education, you guys are having lunch one day. Friday. And then the Dean's Study Abroad Showcase. If you have a study abroad program that you want to promote, then contact the admin in Colfa. What is her name?
Oh, Lauren. The new
Yes.
Lauren
What's her
Bell.
last name? Bell? Okay, contact
Loren. Yeah.
Lon.
I just received an email yesterday. Eric Morrow is actually doing the
Awesome.
coordination of that.
Okay.
So if you want to have a booth or anything like that, just contact Eric and he'll go.
Very cool.
Oh, for that assessment mindset, you're talking about that, or when?
The study abroad showcase.
Oh, the study abroad.
And
I
then
always want to do one, but
Do one.
you do one, seriously.
no, but I don't know where to put it. How to put it.
Oh,
Where to go?
I'm sure we can go anywhere, but
we'll talk. We'll talk. And then convocation is on that Sunday. So that's transition week. Any questions about the multicolored boxes?
So the 2-hour sessions on Tuesday and Wednesday, basically, one of the questions I had since I haven't done this before was whether or not we were all going to be doing something standard, but we can just pretty much get into
Your content of your course.
Okay.
Yep.
because what we've done, because I teach PD1, and so I focus on PD1, that they have minimum 60 hours, what the requirements are for teacher education application. That's what I go over, and we do this 5 times because our groups are in 5s. I mean, we have 5 people teaching it. So, for instance, Lillian teaches mainly Read 4309 and writing, so she'll probably have some activities that will deal with that. And Dr. Callahan usually does something like 43, whatever. She's got one of the block courses, and they do student activities that fit the course that we usually teach.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Lily, I got your planner.
thank you.
You're welcome. I needed this.
One thing that the students are going to get during their study skills transition week time frame is that they will get this planner. This is something that will be completely free for them. In your classrooms, you might see a huge stack of planners. Those will be opened later that day by the folks who are facilitating that session. Here you go.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm right here, Lillian. All right.
And so one thing that, let me see, I think it's on the 3rd or 4th page, it should be in the very beginning, but there is a checklist for first-year students, for second-year students, 3rd year, and then senior year? Yes, senior year. And so if you want to reiterate that or introduce that, that would be neat as well. Okay, tips and tricks and resources that you would like to see that you don't see. So I have syllabus, you said in red, things that we have to have, black things that are nice to have, and then
Our suggestions.
and then a syllabus repository. And then New York Times article, I'll get that from you. Thank you. And then Blackboard, put the link to the course guide or the faculty guidebook on Blackboard. And what else did I need to add? Can you think of anything else that would be good to have, nice to have for the guide? Anything that you wish would have been covered today that was not covered?
Can I just ask a couple of questions?
Sure.
Okay, so what I'm planning on doing is having the students write reflection papers and taking a midterm, but my understanding is there's no final exam in this class, correct?
We have a final, but it's a reflection paper. Which
Okay.
That's what our final has been, is reflection piece.
You can have a final.
Okay, you can, okay.
Sorry, I looked at you like that.
Okay, and Dr. Maven had shared with me her syllabus from several years ago. So are we expecting students to do an initial research paper?
That was what we agreed to, like just in the people who were teaching the COLFA courses like 3 years ago, because I was in that cohort as well. And so not necessarily, but you could. That is something that would cover almost all of those core learning outcomes, if not all. And so that could be something that could easily be.
I just didn't know if that was a requirement.
It is not.
And one other thing, what are the most common areas that y'all's, if you've done questionnaires or whatever, or however you've assessed this, what are the most common areas that freshmen find difficult or lacking in skills and knowledge about?
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking, yeah.
And that I'm speaking about that from a perspective of teaching the first year seminar, the critical thinking. In high school, typically they've been taught.
Test taking.
Remember, fill in the blank.
Yes. Almost said something else, but yes.
Bubbles.
Bubbles, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's not for the exams.
Yeah.
They're not taught to-
Doctor.
Definitely critical thinking, but also taking that one step further. One thing that I am finding way too often is when students write papers, it's like a book report. This information I got out of this reference. Then I summarize information from the next reference. Then I've summarized information from the next reference. They're not comparing and contrasting. They're not synthesizing.
That's true.
So I think that talking about how you write papers from the synthetic or the synthesis perspective is so critical, because I have students who are juniors and seniors who just have not been exposed to that at all.
So
Those are a testing standard.
it's just writing skills, period.
Yeah, writing skills, period. They just don't have them.
I'm a remedial English teacher.
Run on sentences.
So that's if you're looking at that, those are like 3 essential learning outcomes. That's not, number 1, critical thinking 1 and 2, the obtaining the information and also the interpretation or the analysis, and also the writing, whether it's written or oral.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
And kind of following up with that, how long have we been doing this?
This format, not GGS, but this format that since 2013.
Okay. Is there any research or anything that shows that retention that we're doing anything with, it's helping in retention?
Here's the interesting thing. We're doing several things simultaneously, but this past year, we have had the highest retention numbers that we have had in the past 10 years. And
From freshman to sophomore?
Freshman to sophomore. So we have had the highest retention numbers that we have ever experienced in
Figure out which variable it
class.
was.
I know, and that's the
Probably a
difficulty.
combination. Yeah, I think it's probably a combination, but I'm just curious as to if we're starting to see, and maybe it is, I'm sure it is a combination.
But the bad thing is, just finding that magic formula.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm glad it's going up and not.
Tweak the wrong one the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's true.
Do these students come into these Tuesday, Wednesday classes, and I thought, so, for some reason, they show up, but they don't have anything, like paper. Do they get told to bring?
You know, that's a really good point. Because they are going from like before they come to this particular course, they're coming from breakfast. So that's a talking point that I can have with Ms. Shelley Convoy Brown to say when the RLs are talking to them the night before about their class, and also when Dr. Murray is talking to them the day before, that can be a talking point. This is class, bring a pen, bring paper, bring your journal or your planner if you have it. But come prepared, this is class. That's a good one.
Can prepare your college student now.
Yes, yes.
Yes, you're not gonna sit, and do not bring your cell phone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Turn off said cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I remember during the last few transition weeks, they told me specifically, the students did, that they were told not to bring anything.
Because they're traveling all over.
Yeah. They said we were told not to bring pencil.
Well, we
That
will
makes the
make sure.
compliance go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I am circling this in red, that this will be a talking point in various touch points in that week before, in those days before class. Other questions?
Okay, I don't know whether this is pertinent to this or not. I think we are going to have certain health persons or something because there is some problem in the class. There will be one go-to person in every building. Do you have the information on that? That you can share with us?
And you said a person, if there was a health concern or?
Yes, I mean to say, yeah.
Mhm.
Last time it happened that during the class, a student got unconscious and then he or she was taken to the hospital and I went to the ambulance and then the parents invited me to without asking, but if that was not done, then it would be a problem. And I think there was another situation in which the student really got worse. So, because the professor who was teaching there didn't know who to call immediately.
So let me, and I know of several of the instances that you're talking about on campus. Let me see if someone produced a guidebook, because I think if we don't have it, we need it.
Yeah, that's what it is, because it was told to us that we will be given that number or something, or a go-to person for each building. Every professor goes to different buildings to teach. It's not just, it's the same math science, so I just teach science, but it's not like that.
That's a good
If we can have that information and we can share it with all the students, that's good.
That's really
That's
good.
very
Thank
important
you.
because everybody panics.
Yeah, there was a mass panic that
Yeah.
within the day in question that you're talking about.
Right.
Okay, so I have that written down, and I will circle that as well as a like a step by step. What do we need to do if this happens?
Yes.
That's perfect.
It
That
would
is
be
perfect.
911.
But sometimes
No,
it depends.
Yeah, it depends upon what situation it is. But last time this is what happened. 911 was called, ambulance was here, but later it turned out to be it was a lot of problems going on later. So because nobody was informed what's going on and everything, that professor did what she or he should be doing, but it turned out to be something.
But to know who the contact is in that building.
So
good.
because I heard that is what they're going to do. In each building there will be one contact person.
Okay.
Who will be taking care of this. So I don't know whether it was worked on that. Is there any progress on that?
I will double check with risk management just to make sure. But I will promise you guys I will do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions for the good of the order? If you have any additional questions, just send me an email. I'll write a response to you and also copy that response anonymously in the guide.
I have one question. On your list, I mean, if I have, for instance, I have ag science and I have psychology of major selected, should they be on the IS list? I mean, is there a reason that, because everybody else is IS, interdisciplinary studies.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Interdisciplinary studies. Everybody else is, for the college, CNI, but, I mean, I don't mind, because I'm an ag major myself, so it doesn't matter. But I'm just wondering if those students really will benefit being in my 8-week course.
If you send their names to me, and I had to double check on someone else's students.
That was
Yes.
me.
Thank you. Okay. Did we resolved those two?
Well,
right?
the one I knew, I figured PVs that are not peanut butter, I don't know. But I figured that one, but and he is off the list.
Mhm.
But the other one, the junior one,
Mhm.
that's the one I'm still wondering if she's gonna find benefit for that course too, but, cause usually
And I know
junior
she's-
levels are already in PD1, so.
She's EC through H. No, EC through 6.
EC6, yeah.
I'm learning my terminology. From
Yes.
Maybe she was misadvised.
And maybe, well, you had said that she needed the 1 hour, but I would think she has a psychology course that could be subbed in there. I mean,
And everyone, have a great afternoon. If you have any follow-up questions, just let me know.
but I'll pull her up on DegreeWorks myself and see if she really needs to be in there.
The notes were very not, well,
Okay, I'll look at her. I'll look at it again. And then I was
So is that something we should do, Jennifer? Should we check each student to make sure they should be in the course?
we are, for right now, a couple of days ago, we were working with the college to realign the students, and so all of those are fixed right now. But for the rest of you, if you only have like a couple, then just shoot me an email to let me know if you have some students that are complete anomalies. But other than that, we can fix that after transition week.
well,
Very helpful, thank
you.
these
Thank y'all for
two that are
coming.
different, they could come with transition. I just don't think, I would think the ag major would rather go be with his ag department. I mean, I would think. And then the psychology, same thing with that one.
So we will double check.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
haven't looked at it in a while. I'll take a look at it.
yeah, just go to your text and facts
Yeah.
and do that. Okay.
Okay.
Well, everyone have a good afternoon. Ms. Henson, Ms. Baker.
Well, actually, I'm still here for the next class.
Okay.
iCloud training.
Well, have a good afternoon, guys.
See you soon.
Bye. See you soon.
Can I get Julie Ward that's teaching?
You know, I don't think
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you, Ms. Jennifer.
You're welcome. Thank
I'm
you,
sorry,
guys.
snooze, you lose.
Did you learn anything new?
Sorry?
Did you learn anything new?